Guys, I went to Camp Soto Park, and I actually stayed at Campground 1 where the Dirty Laundrie stayed. And I gotta say, it was creepy. So there is clearly an in and out. When you go into this park, they film you like crazy. The FBI clearly have them on camera to get to this park because there's only one way in. And now there's a second stop. So even if they pass the other one with these cameras, that's 2 tolls they would have had to go through so far just to get over here. Now, I'm also noticing there's a ton of places you can just park and you can have a boat. If you wanted to just have a boat there at some point, there's tons of people over there that have it. So now we are going into Fort Soto. Guys, I'm here at the Fort Soto camping area where the Dirty Laundrie stayed. Let's check it out. As you're coming in, only registered campers beyond this point. But the cameras are pretty good cameras. It's so private. Look at this. This is the campsite where the Laundrie stayed. We are staying where they potentially conspired to figure out what to do next. Who knows? But this is the area. Now it's close to one other person. It's interesting because they got one campground that's far away from everybody else. Now, if they had someone staying here, they might have heard some stuff. If they didn't, they could speak in pretty good confidence here. It's pretty close quarters. But you can see there's witnesses walk by and such. But this is an area where they could have had some peaceful conversations to try and figure out what to do next. But this is the official campground. As we look around, it's a typical campground. I don't think we're going to see a lot of clues. But it's very chilling to be here knowing that they were here right as everyone sort of knew Gabby was missing and they were just camping here. It is a very weird place to come knowing that your fiance-in-law is missing. Oh man, that's totally it. That's creepy. That's creepy. Oh my God, this is creepy. I'm standing right where Brian Laundrie was. That's where the picture was taken. The picture was taken right there. If they were in that campsite as their neighbor, which is what would make sense, this is him and this is his POV going to the water. This is Brian Laundrie's POV as he walked out to this area. Wow. So this is where he came out. This is where we caught him walking. This is where the neighbors were, I'm assuming, because there's a campsite over here. That's creepy. That's creepy. So this is that neighbor that took the pictures that say they were with him. If that's true, they would have been in this number. I have my son walking across, similar direction as to where he would have been from their POV. So as you look at this, my son being where Brian Laundrie would have looked, you can tell the distance is pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. So honestly, the bald guy that was behind them, I don't know who else would have been. If they were there the same dates, that's clearly him. So we are in the spot where they were. Perspective, you're walking as if you're Brian Laundrie, walking out to the water. And this is it. It's kind of haunting, I have to admit, walking in the footsteps of this man that we've been profiling and following so closely. But this is where he looked.
There's also some cardboard right here.
Yeah, my son thinks the cardboard might be theirs. I do not believe in that, but I do think Dog the Bounty Hunter should have checked for DNA or something. Some campfire. Wonder if they've really checked any of this stuff. Not that it matters because we know they were here. very weird to be standing here knowing this might have been the last place he was. He could have totally taken off from here. There's a lot of boats in the distance. And being here, I know we don't know, we're speculating a lot, but the theory of him somehow being picked up from this area, kayak here to potential another boat. Again, speculation. We've seen that the sister, Cassie, we've seen her on boats. We've seen rumors that the Laundries have had other access to boats. It would not be odd of them to have come to that first trip and then come back on this second trip to actually activate. First trip to prep, second trip to activate. And staring at these waters, it is weird. We don't know for sure what happened, but being here feels weird. I gotta be honest. I'm not just saying that. It's just weird knowing that these people were here knowing Gabby was missing. Now, Sawyer, if we had just murdered someone, do you think it would be weird that we would go camping like nothing happened?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad you see that. If you ever do something wrong, you tell Daddy. Don't go camping and ignore it. So while I was taping here, I did go live on Instagram. So thanks to everybody who joined me. Please follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to grow that platform as well. But I went there live because it's easier, and I wanted to get some of your comments as to what do you want to know about this site here. And the biggest question I got was, could he have dropped some evidence? Could they have hidden evidence here? I mean, if you wanted to bury a phone here, yeah, you could. Now, I don't know. I need to talk to the detectives and the tech people, but I think you could, scan for metals and stuff in here. And, by this campsite specifically, there's a lot of wildlife here, but you got to be careful going in this wildlife. There are snakes everywhere around here. Now, this is heavily populated, so it's probably not as much, but we're so close to the water that it's not impossible for a gator or a poisonous snake to be in here. So I don't really want to go in there. I'm not going in there. I'm used to going in the woods. I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania suburbs, and we had a lot of woods in my area, and I love running through the woods. But in Florida, you sadly can't do that as much. So I don't think Brian's in there. I'm looking at the shrubbery. I don't think Brian's in there. Could they have dumped a phone or something out here? Maybe. I mean, easier to dump it out in the water. But could they dump evidence? Yeah, this is a really big site. It's a really big site with a lot of areas you could dig up. And actually, I want to show you something else. As we were driving around, we realized there's a lot of other areas you could park at. You could register for campsite 1, but I've been here for an hour and no one's checked. There's not a high security, and you got to remember, it would be very easy for Brian to go to another site. All right, so I'm in campsite 43. What's really interesting as I drive around, there's a lot of little beaten paths. But what's interesting is you can totally just stay at another campsite. They didn't even check. It's so big here. So this area is, I gotta be honest, in seeing it, I'm walking over here, it's such a place to dump a body or take a kayak and get out of here. Look, hey, meet the kayak right here behind site 50. Even though I stayed in 1 is where they stayed, you can come right here, kayak right out. I mean, it's a beautiful campground. I hate that this now has this weird history, but look at that. Someone hide a kayak in here, and you're out of here. And this isn't even where they stayed. Now, depending when they came, I mean, this is a Sunday. I'm here on a Sunday, and I gotta say, it's pretty easy. There's no one here. No one's paying attention. If you do this right, especially in the evening, and you hit a kayak, and you just dipped out, this is definitely a place you could hide. I found this interesting too. This is a sanitary disposal station. I don't know enough about it, but could you have hit a phone or phone pieces in your, grossness and disposed of it down the drain using these devices? I don't know. Does anybody know better camping stuff? But when I drove by this, I was thinking, well, that's one way to dispose of something. There's so much water around this place, it would be so easy to dump something. And their kayak rentals, good catch, buddy. Kayak rentals. I mean, you would think you wouldn't rent it from this place, but who knows? I do have to say the security here is very lax. I have to be honest. Calling you out, security. That was quite easy to get in. There are the cameras. So I wanted to film the cameras. There are clear cameras coming in and out of this unit. We went exploring the rest of Fort Soto, but I thought it was important to mention before I left. All of these campgrounds, this whole island, is attached to that. So very easy for him to escape if he wanted to. beautiful place to visit, Fort DeSoto. Don't let the bad laundries ruin it. A lot of amazing things you can see. There's the Skyway Bridge. Florida's a beautiful place, but man, a lot of places he could have gotten away.